Hello, my name is Brandon Yang, and today my team and I are going to present our e-commerce website on Property Masters Landscaping Services. To explain our successes, the Property Masters team were able to explain what our company does and how it stands out from our competitors. We are successful in our schedule. The team completed the project by the time it was due. Sometimes clients come to us with a hard deadline. However, our team always met the schedule. Our team were able to get the work done within the least possible time, effort, and expense. This makes it efficient in the project execution. The project team were satisfied with the project management and the project results. We're successful in personal growth. Our team agreed that the project made them more productive and successful in their current roles. At the end of the project, we stick to the budget. Our net present value shows positive with our value of benefits greater than the present value of cost. For improvements, we believe our company did not have an outstanding marketing strategy to dominate the marketplace. Our team would have to evaluate our marketing strategy and create a customer engagement model. To reduce time spent on non-core administrative activities, our team members would do all tasks at their own. We can lighten the load by outsourcing the tasks to reliable partners. Also, we can eliminate or replace unimportant tasks with valuable ones. We believe we could improve our customer satisfaction, and by doing so is setting new metrics for the process based on organizational long-term goals. One important improvement may be to go from 85% customer satisfaction to 93% customer satisfaction over a 9-month time period, or to reduce cost per unit from $25 per unit to $15 per unit over a 1-year time period. We need to point out potential flaws. There are weaknesses in our proposition. The team needs to approach this by not hiding our weaknesses, but to address them. We are comparing website with Gibbs Landscaping Service Company. The similarities are that both websites contain a request a quote page that are used to get custom pricing for landscaping services. Another similarity is that both sites offer landscape design and maintenance services. These include landscape design, installation, weed control, insect and disease control, and fertilization. Property Masters Landscaping is different because we offer product and materials compared to how Gibbs Landscaping only offers services. We have user accounts for our customers, we have shopping carts for our products, and online booking for appointments. Gibbs Landscaping Company are different as they have landscaping, newsletter, photo galleries, employment for people, and they have a company video. The creation of our e-commerce business and website was split into several parts. The first part is planning. It took 11 days to finish, and we started by forming a team. Then we selected a business focus and assembled our resources. We researched the market, industry, business and trade organization, and prepared a budget. We ended the planning by outlining our business plan. After that stage, we created a marketing plan, product development plan, and a sales plan. The website design took 9 days to do. We did a site outline and a sitemap review. We created a database, did some page artwork, content outline, validation, and cross-platform and browser testing. We ended the website creation with a final review, then we launched it. But before we launched the website, we made sure to test everything.
Good morning. This is Derek Stinchcomb, and this morning I will be talking about 3 topics for our e-commerce group, presenting our Property Masters Landscaping Company. My 3 topics were my insights I gained from doing this project, our business and revenue model, and our target audience. So first off, a couple insights I did learn from trying to gather our, just from the start to finish with this whole project, from deciding that we were going to do a landscaping company, just doing a lot of research on, how to, the startup and the competition, the whole market for landscaping company as a overall business, not just the people that you see every day, but irrigation systems, the whole industrial size, market size. So some of the key things that I learned was, of course, about 60-70% majority of companies are private and sole proprietorship. Um, so it's just a one man owner, one person owner, and they have a couple people that they hire, but for the most part, it's a one person, um, one person business, one person owned. Um, overall though, there are estimated, 10,000 individual lawn care services providers in this market. So I didn't know that before. I see, and it also depends on your area that you're in. So living in the South, we do see more, more sole owners with their own landscaping services because of our climate and, just how it rains here quite often and the temperature is just right for plants to grow and stuff like that. So, but like I said, when you look in the overall of it, for the people that's out west or up north, where you know during the wintertime, those companies have to, during their off time, they really catch up on, the paperwork, the office work side of it, which is like, insurance and taxes and getting more clients. That's another key part too. Your business is only going to be as successful as the amount of clients you have. So, you know, and being that in the lawn care service, most of the most of the business you get is going to be through a contract, and it's not going to be like an everyday thing. So you're going to have multiple sources to, catch up with what you're, to at least have an income, or what to at least have a profit. Because if you have a couple people that you're doing every, 2 times a month, that's not going to be enough. I mean, and another thing that's important in this market is competitive pricing. Being that there is so many other choices that consumers can go to, you don't really want to have your prices too high to where you miss out on business, because like I said, it's a lot of other people who's out there willing to charge less, and do just as good. you know it's gonna look just as good at the end. So um that's just a couple of the insights that I learned. Um oh, another key fact that I just found out was uh how much the actual market generates annually. Like landscape architects, landscape contractors, irrigation contractors, landscape product suppliers. That's another key thing. You know, for the people who don't, for the businesses that don't offer services that do products, they're making a huge profit too, because the people who doing the work have to have somewhere, have to have a supply for the products and equipment. So overall, annually, it generates about $67 billion, 67 through $69 billion annually. So that's and also generate in the overall economy, it generates 704,000 jobs annually. So that's quite interesting when you really look at the overall field as itself. It can be quite profitable, but like I said, if you don't have the footwork to get the clientele, then your business is only going to be as successful as which is how most businesses does thrive, word of mouth. But just starting off from the ground, it's going to be tough, because you're going to have to build that clientele, You know, you're gonna have a couple people, family members, friends, you know, but as you know, as you start to catch up, well, as you start to overdo it, then you're gonna have to need more people to get a profit. So those are my insights. Okay, up next, our business and revenue model. Um, as far as our business model goes, you know, we want to attract as many customers as possible and maintain those customers. Um, our mission is to provide the customer with, you know, professional services. You know, we want to get to the job on time. We want to finish with a, you know, clean up once we finish. That's another key thing. We just want to exceed the expectation of each customer. Um, you know, we're gonna offer multiple services. You know, we're gonna do the basic lawn clippings, edging. Um, you know, we're gonna offer hedge trimming as a optional service. You know, weed control, the whole nine, fertilizing. Um, we hope to at least generate at least $10,000 in profit annually, minimally, as a minimum. Um, our revenue model, um, well, as you know, it's a seasonal job, so we plan for our revenue activity to occur April. Well, I'll say starting in about March. Yeah. Well, April through November. So that'll be our season for to generate as much revenue as possible until until the you know the winter season, which will then cease our operation as far as outdoors. Um, um, yeah, that's as far as our business model goes. That completes the business model and revenue model. Okay, next I will be talking about our target audience. But before I go into that, I have another point that I wanted to make on our business model. Um, Starting off, we really wanted to, it's important to start off in your local community and build a one-on-one connection with your neighbors if you want to really get, establish good groundwork in the business and start spreading the word about your services. That's what we want to. That's a key thing in any, especially landscaping. Because you're working on the show. So if you want to start off in your as local as possible, down the street in your subdivision, that's important, and that will help establish your one-on-one communication, your one-on-one relationship with your customers. Because as you branch out, it'll be branching out from people that referred you basically. So that will give you a competitive edge as well. And another thing that would competitive edge that'll give you over your competition is professionalism. Your quality of work. Like I said, it's going to show, especially for landscaping. So that's the whole point. Is let your work show. And if you can start off in your neighborhood, that'll be a product of your environment. So okay, so next I'm going to talk about as far as our target audience goes. We want to really target middle class Americans, with homes, medium size, suburban homes. Um, um, and also homeowners who have just made recent purchases. That's another key thing that I need to bring up. There's a lot of the housing market is expanding. So a lot of vacant homes will need, lawn, uh, um, landscaping services immediately. To clean up for to make a sale for real estate agents. We want to make those type of services available. Um, you know, um, and just basically commercial properties as well. Business to business. That's another key thing that can also be a part of our business revenue. I mean, our business model. Um, Business to business plans. We don't just want to do residential. We can do commercial properties as well. Um, so that completes the target audience.
Here are some of the attacks or security concerns an e-commerce business must face. This isn't the whole list or a definitive list, but I think that these are the more important ones. First being the cross-site scripting. This is where the attacker inserts snippets of Java code and the code looks like a normal script. However, the browser can't distinguish between good code and bad code and will most oftentimes execute the code. This can lead to phishing attempts and installation of malicious software. The second security concern is SQL injection. Um, Attackers insert malicious SQL statements, which can lead to the attacker in gaining access to the database. Once they have access to the database, the attacker is able to create admin accounts. They're allowed to delete accounts. Um, they're able to view and disclose confidential information. The third and most important kind of attack um, many businesses face is the DOS attack or denial of service. Attacks like this aim to take down the website or disrupt the availability of the website. This kind of attack essentially overloads the server or the web hosts and renders the site useless and is very difficult to stop. Um, the lesser technical attacks include social engineering, which is the manipulating people to perform actions or divulging confidential information. You have your man-in-the-middle attack, where the attacker is able to listen in on the communication between you and the web server or the e-commerce business, essentially intercepting all the information you typed in or are sending to the e-commerce site. And Another attack is the phishing, which is often as a result of SQL injection or cross-site scripting, but not limited to those attacks. When your email is essentially compromised, hackers or attackers will try to phish, and it is on the user to be vigilant and to know when a phishing attempt is occurring. So you have to look out for that. So when there's a lack of e-commerce security, most oftentimes it can ruin your reputation or damage your brand. For example, Equifax, their reputation has been tarnished. If you look at their security data breach, when over half the American or half of the United States population confidential information was leaked out there. So they definitely damaged their brand. Secondly, you lose customer loyalty. Um, Customer just tend to stay away from you because they know that you're very lackadaisical in your security approach or your security policy. Um, Also, the lack of e-commerce security, you can damage your customers' financial well-being, and then on top of that, uh, when you lose customer loyalty or when you damage your brand, you often face revenue loss. And another thing that happens is fraud, and it's one of the most prevalent uh, issue. According to the 2014 LexisNexis annual report, annual fraud costs reached $32 billion, and this was in 2014. So I just wonder how much it is now since we're in 2018. But anyways, um, to mitigate or prevent these kinds of attacks, you have to make sure that the platform hosts that you're using has multi-layered security. Um, Another thing to look out for is to implement some kind of monitoring of transactions where you set up or you flag potential threats. Um, Always ensure that the platform is often always issuing updates so that vulnerabilities are patched. And this one, I can't emphasize this enough, but always encourage your customer or user to create strong passwords. Um, don't create passwords like hello123. Instead, create. You can change it. Change the E in hello to a 3, change the O in hello to a 0, and then maybe add a period, and change the 123 into some kind of different number. Usually, you don't want to use a date of birth or anything significant like that because uh, that's what most people would use, and hackers are smart enough to take advantage of that. Lastly, ensure that your platform host supports some kind of SSL certificate. This will ensure that the communication between the user and your platform host is secure, and this will prevent any kind of man in the middle or eavesdropping onto your customers' information.